Hi, so I am sitting on the floor of our bedroom in Los Angeles and I feel like there is a lot to explain. I'm sure you've noticed, but it's been a really long time since I feel like I've actively updated kind of where I'm at in my life, and I think the last year definitely has been very different for me because after making videos for like 5-6 years, sharing every aspect of my life and my relationship, so much has happened and I haven't updated you guys, and I feel really weird about it because you're such a big part of my life. But I figured I would kind of take you take you through a journey of what it's been like the last year, and just kind of let you know where I'm at and kind of what my plan is with YouTube and moving forward. And I feel like I owe it to you and I owe it to myself to do this because it's felt really weird not sharing these parts of my life with you guys. And I want to assure you that I have not disappeared off of YouTube. I just haven't really known how to navigate it in the last couple of months to a year. So it was getting increasingly difficult for me to make videos, but I think I've gotten to a point now. I think we're turning a new leaf now, where I think that I can get back to mentally where I was when I started this, which was a really healthy, happy relationship with sharing my life. So 2 major life events have happened, and I've talked about both of them before really briefly 2 videos ago. One, I got married. Dan and I are hitched. It's official. I didn't have a proposal, we didn't have a proper engagement, we didn't do any of the official things besides signing the paper in our living room. And for anyone that is interested, it is the easiest process in the world. I don't know what the sound is, but it is literally the easiest sound. And for anyone that is interested, it is literally the easiest process in the world. I'm pretty sure it's probably pretty similar in the States as it is in Canada, but I just had to find a commissioner. I had to get my marriage license from like an ICBC, which is like an insurance place. And then they came over, we did the thing. You have to have 2 witnesses. So we invited Dan's family and that was it. We signed the papers and we were officially married. And at first we were gonna do like a really big wedding, but then we decided that it was just too much money, and like neither of us really felt like that's something that we wanted to do right now, and that was like super important to us right now. And so yeah, after buying our condo in Vancouver and then renovating it, I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna spend like $20,000 on a wedding. Like there's just so much more that I could do with that money. And so basically what we did was use that money to set up a place in LA. And I'll get to that very shortly. I'm trying to think if there's anything else related to the wedding. But oh, I also got my engagement ring. That was very exciting. I didn't want a diamond, so I got an aquamarine and a moonstone because I still wanted like relatively big gems, and I like the look of just like some nice big gems. So I'm really happy about that. Dayan and I designed it together, and then he like did all the kind of like final details in working with the moonstone. I'll like write their IG here, but they were great. She sources like a bunch of vintage like gems and like jewelry and stuff, so they custom made it, and it wasn't super expensive, which I'm really happy about because I didn't want a really expensive ring on my finger. Like I'm not even wearing it right now. That's why I wish I kind of was, because then I could show it to you guys, but I'm not even wearing it right now because I just forget to wear rings all the time. So anyways, I'm really happy with the route that we chose because it was perfect for us. We do literally everything on our own time, in our own order, and so it just felt like that's how it was supposed to be. And we did go on like a little honeymoon. We went to Mexico. That was really cute, and even though it was nice to have some time away, we missed Blue like the entire time. And I will say, the reason why I'm so chill about my whole marriage thing, even though growing up I'm like, you know, like I want to have a wedding, and maybe that's just because that's what I'm told I want, but it's also because I feel like Dana and I made like such a big commitment to each other in having a child, and I really do stand by and believe that having a child with somebody is an even bigger commitment than getting married, because you could just get divorced. At least that's my belief, that you could just get divorced if things go south and they don't work out, and you can go your separate ways. But when you have children with somebody, that person's most likely going to be in your life forever because you guys will be co-parenting and all of that. So yeah, I feel like our life hasn't changed at all, literally at all, since we got married, but it changed tremendously once we had Blue. But that was my first big update, and you would have already known if you follow me on Instagram. and I talked about it before, but those are all the details on how we got married. And the second big update is that I'm in Los Angeles now. So most of you guys probably know that I'm co-founder of a startup. It's a wellness startup called Multi, and we make supplements, skincare, and body care that connect the dots between beauty, body, and mind. That's our mission statement. It's my job to know that, so that's why I just recited it for you. But it's been a really incredible journey, and I think I haven't shared much about it because I don't really know how, and because there's so many other people involved, I don't know how much I'm allowed to share, and I would never want anything that I do share to reflect poorly on the company. And so I think that in a lot of ways I let that get to me in kind of a very millennial way, where I have to make it seem like everything is perfect all the time. And I think I'm finally sitting down to make this video because I've come to realize that that is not my truth, and that is not the truth of starting a startup. Things are really, really fucking hard. Like, they're really hard. Everybody knows that there's gonna be highs and lows, but the lows are really low. And I've just never dealt with this level of instability before. I've never really known what it's like to not know what is going to happen, because even in being an influencer and being a content creator, like, I have control of my own future, my career, how much money I want to make, and I really enjoy that about doing this for work. But being co-founder of a startup, there's so many things, so many elements that are at play, and we still haven't even launched yet, so I'm still not getting paid for it. And so I think that's something that people don't understand, is that you're doing a lot of work, and it's off of your own dime. And so that's been really, really difficult, because I kind of just slowed down this other part of my career, which is the influencing, content creating, because I wanted to focus on that 100%. And I've always tried to be authentic in my experiences and not make things seem like they're all rainbows and butterflies, because that's not real life. And so I think I'm finally at a point where I realize that starting the startup is the same exact experience, in that there's going to be highs and lows, and I would never want to only show you the highs. Because for anybody that ever wants to do something that I'm doing, I want you to know that it can be so incredibly rewarding, and the vibes are impeccable, yet at the same time there is so much hard work that goes into it, and so much healing that I need to do to understand my relationship to money, to stability, to success, that is really being challenged by co-founding the startup. And it's literally taken everything that I have to help build this thing. And even though I've started so many ventures in the past, like Dan and I did Saturday morning cereals, we did a pop-up, we started Chuck Me, which was like clothing and home goods. Like, I've poured so much money into every single one of those ventures, and I don't regret any of it. And I've literally poured so much money into Multi, and I still don't regret it, because I know that all of these experiences are learning experiences, and that I'm exactly where I need to be. And I've never been so aligned and so laser focused on trying to build something as I am right now with Multi. So, you know, like, if you don't invest in your own ideas, like, I literally had an investor ask me how much of my own money I've put into Multi, and it's true, because like, if you don't even believe in yourself, how can you expect other people to believe in you? And so I'm really, really excited for what we're building. And I think for a long time I started to feel like I was being pushed out of the social media space, and that is 100% a narrative that I made up in my own head, because, you know, I'm changing and I'm not the same girl that I used to be. And if you watch a lot of my videos ever since becoming a mom, a lot of them are about that, and I still feel that. And I think a lot of that is my imposter syndrome. It's a lot of the narratives that I'm telling myself, that society tells us, that, like, you know, once you become a mother, you're not interesting and that you have nothing left to say. But I have a lot of shit to say. And I think I also told myself that if I continue to make YouTube videos, that I wouldn't be taken seriously as a founder. You know, when I'm literally, like, my co-founders are like somebody that was a head of marketing and somebody that is like a kick-ass chemist, and I'm like, hi, I'm an influencer. And I think that's my internalized imposter syndrome. But I know what I bring to the table, and I know that in sharing my authentic experience with you all, like, it's not gonna hurt me, it's not gonna hurt my brand, because also what Multi is like, I want it to be authentic, I want it to feel accessible, I want it to feel relatable. That is literally the whole point wellness is about feeling good, and it's recentering wellness around you. And for me, like, I don't feel good not sharing my whole truth. And so that is my truth. My truth is that doing a startup is really hard. I feel more unstable now than I've literally ever felt in my entire life. And like I said, like, my relationship to money, my relationship to success, like, all of those things are being challenged, and I know that I'm gonna be a better person because of this experience. But it isn't to say that this is the hardest thing I think I've ever done in my life, besides like having a baby. Parenting is like a whole other thing. I think I'll maybe make like a whole updated parenting video at some point soon, because that's a whole trip too. But I mean, Dayon and Blue are my rock, and I think that I already knew that, but when times are hard, that's when I look at my family and I'm like, I've already won and everything else is extra. And so I think that the point of me really struggling through this experience and riding the lows is so that by the time I get to the finish line, and by the time I get to a place where I'm like, I've done enough, that I don't lose who I am. And so that's my big life update. I am currently in Los Angeles because Multi is headquartered here. We have our office here. We are an LA based company, and so I've been here working on getting it ready for launch, and like, my main jobs are working on the website, the customer experience. We work on packaging, socials, literally everything. And I think in that way, being an influencer really prepared me for this, because you have to wear so many different hats there, and you have to wear so many different hats when you're doing a startup. It's just that now there's a lot more people involved and a lot more writing on it. So it's definitely been a huge learning experience, but I think Blue's getting ready for his nap now. I think Dan's trying to get him to take his nap. But anyways, all of that to say, I really do miss sharing like more of the intimate parts of my life with you all, because I really truly feel like we've grown up together, and I've really missed you. And I just want to thank you for still watching this video if you are, because it's really long and probably so boring because I'm just talking. But if you do have any videos that you would like to see, drop them down below. I honestly think that what I have capacity for right now is mostly update videos, and also just like really messy vlogs if you kind of want to see what my day-to-day life is like. But it's I always feel like it's really boring now because I'm not doing like fun, adventurous, single life things. But for those of you guys that are interested in what it's like to be a working mom doing a startup in a brand new city, I'm your girl. But yeah, I do also really want to make, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the video that I made about what it's like having postpartum sex, I want to make an updated one. I don't know if I should do that by myself or with Dayon, but that'd be nice to do an updated one. And I'm just rambling now because I miss you. But I'll talk to you guys later, and thanks for watching this far because it's been a long video. Bye.